This is going to be a short video for episode number 12 in this series of blogs on my website on guitar rock improvisations. So let's get right to this. So a cool thing to do is try to keep a 3/4 note solo really interesting, B.B. King style. So you solo and you dedicate yourself to only playing 3/4 notes. They try to keep as interesting as possible. These are really good improvisation exercises. It's tough to keep things interesting if you only have 3/4 notes. Number 5 there, cheated. So sometimes it's tough to keep things interesting, but that's exactly why you'll learn so much from doing this. So definitely something worth experimenting with, trying to play 4 or 5 minute long solos, only having 3 or 4 notes. Listen to B.B. King, he's a master at that kind of stuff. Saying a whole lot with very little is a good thing, it's a good skill to have. Okay, next thing is a little more elaborate. This is a really cool soloing technique where you use intervals to create interesting lines. And the idea being that you play the interval melodically, meaning as separate notes. So let's say they go through the interval, let's say third intervals in the key of C. So you have D and F on the top 2 strings, then E and G, which is the 5th and the 3rd fret. 6th and 5th fret is F and A, 6, 5 on the top 2 strings. Move that up 2 frets, so you're on 8, 7. I should lower my camera a little bit, there you go. 8, 7, then A, C, 10, 8. 12, 10, B, D, C, E. So you get, and then you have C and E, C and open E string. So it's a C scale harmonized, in other words, in 3rd intervals on the top 2 strings. So a cool thing to do now is separating the notes. Then if you jump around, so now I went by step, of course, it went from C to D to E to F to G. But if you start leaping around, you create really cool soloing lines. But still a little predictable, of course, because I'm going low, high, low, high, low, high. So in this time, when you just heard me, I played the B string first, followed by the E string. But you want to mix and match it up, so you get stuff like this. So I mix it up where sometimes I hit the E string first and then the B string. Sometimes I hit the B string first and then the E string. Intervallic leaps make it intervallically more interesting. So rather than going by step, where you do. Then the other thing is that you also want to make it rhythmically interesting. So you don't want to do not really as interesting sounding. So you want to be rhythmically much more creative. Now, the next thing you can do now, you can hit open strings also. So now it definitely is going to get intervallically more interesting. So the way this works, so let's say they want to play E and G on the B and the E string, 5th fret and 3rd fret, I could do this. Right, open B string first, then the E on the B string, open E string first, then the G on the E string. So then. Of course, if I play that evenly and consistently, it gets very predictable. But if you start mixing this up where for example you play 2 notes in a row on the E string, I played E, open E string A, open E string B, open E string, and then you switch 2 notes on the B string. I'll do this with my fingers every time I hit an open string. So yeah, you want to be as random as you possibly can be in terms of how you organize where you hit the open strings, where you hit fingered notes. I hit open B string, then F, A, open E string, G, then E on this string. I hit open B string, A on the B string, then C on the high E string, open E string, B, G. And so on. Now things get even more interesting if, rather than a horizontal approach, if you adopt a vertical approach. Of course, you can do all this stuff with different intervals. It doesn't have to be with third intervals. You could do it with fourths. Get an entirely different sound, a much more kind of angular kind of sound. Of course, you could make combinations, for example, thirds and fourths. These are fifths. Of course, this probably will make more sense if I played over a backing track. It's a great way to create amazingly fun lines. Have fun with this and let me know how it goes.